Life is unpredictable. There will be moments when everything you care about seems to slip through your fingers, when the people you trusted turn away, when the plans you carefully made collapse before your eyes. It is in these moments that we are tested, not by the events themselves, but by how we respond to them. Marcus Aurelius, a man who ruled an empire, faced constant war, betrayal, the deaths of his children, and the weight of responsibility that most of us will never comprehend, yet he remained composed. Not because he didn't feel pain, but because he understood something that most never do. Pain is not what happens to us, it is how we interpret what happens to us. A single event can destroy one person and strengthen another, not because the event itself was different, but because their minds responded differently. You cannot control the world, but you can control how you perceive it, and in that control lies the secret to unshakable peace. Imagine standing in the middle of a violent storm. The wind is howling, the rain is relentless, the sky is dark with chaos. Most people panic trying to fight against it, trying to escape, trying to control what cannot be controlled. But imagine standing still, feeling the wind on your skin, hearing the thunder, but remaining unmoved. The storm is real, but it does not disturb you because you have chosen not to resist it. This is what Marcus Aurelius trained his mind to do. He understood that suffering is not in external events, but in our reaction to them. If you lose your job, one person sees disaster, another sees opportunity. If someone insults you, one person is wounded, another is indifferent. The event is the same. The suffering is optional. The mind creates pain, and the mind can take it away. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events."
Click subscribe to this channel to get more topics you love.
Realize this, and you will find strength. The person who understands this is untouchable. The person who waits for life to be fair, for people to always be kind, for things to always go as planned, will always suffer. But the person who expects nothing, who accepts everything, who understands that the world will be what it is regardless of their desires, that person is free. Imagine a boulder rolling down a mountain. It crushes everything in its path. But if you are standing to the side, watching it, it does nothing to you. This is how life works. Pain, loss, disappointment, they come rolling through whether we like it or not. Most people stand in their path, trying to stop them, getting crushed under their weight. But Marcus Aurelius teaches us to step aside, to observe, to let them pass. What hurts us is not the event itself, but our belief that it should not have happened. But who promised that life would go our way? Where is it written that things must always be fair? The world is indifferent. It does not care about our expectations. So why do we? One of the most powerful lessons Marcus left behind is this: if you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it. And this you have the power to revoke at any moment. Everything that happens in life is neutral until the mind gives it meaning. A broken relationship, a lost job, an unexpected challenge, these are just events. It is the meaning we attach to them that creates suffering. A person who loses money in the stock market may see it as a catastrophe, while another sees it as a lesson. A person left by someone they love may see it as the end, while another sees it as a new beginning. The event is the same, but the suffering exists only in the mind. Marcus Aurelius faced the death of his children, the betrayal of friends, the burden of ruling an empire in chaos. Yet, he remained calm because he understood the fundamental truth that nothing has power over us unless we allow it to. A person can live in luxury and feel miserable, while another can have nothing and feel at peace. The external world does not dictate our inner world, only our perception does. So how do we apply this? How do we remain calm when life hurts? The first step is radical acceptance. Instead of wishing things were different, accept them as they are. The world is unpredictable. People are flawed. Plans will fail. Fighting against reality only creates unnecessary pain. Accept what is, and peace follows. The second step is to control your interpretations. When something painful happens, stop and ask, am I reacting to the event or to my thoughts about it? If someone betrays you, does their action hurt you, or does your belief that they should not have done it cause the pain? Reality does not hurt us, our resistance to reality does. The third step is to focus only on what you can control. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Do not waste what remains of your life in speculating about your neighbors, unless with a view to some mutual benefit. Think about your own life, how to make it good." Most suffering comes from focusing on things outside our control, other people's actions, the past, the future. But none of these are within our power. The only power we have is over ourselves, our thoughts, our actions, our responses. Imagine a person standing in front of a fire. The fire is life's difficulties. Most people try to put it out, try to escape it, try to complain about why it's there, but the Stoic stands still and lets the fire burn, knowing it cannot touch them unless they allow it to. Life will always have fires. The question is, will you let them consume you, or will you learn to walk through them untouched? Marcus Aurelius reminds us that nothing in life has meaning except the meaning we give it. A loss, a failure, a betrayal, these are just events. It is our mind that turns them into suffering. But if the mind is what creates suffering, then the mind is also what can remove it. Peace is not found in changing the world. Peace is found in changing how we see the world, and that is something that no one can take from us. Life is a storm. Most people try to control it, try to fight against it, try to demand that it be different than it is. But the wise person stands still, lets the storm rage on, and remains untouched. The wise person knows that nothing lasts forever, neither happiness nor pain. The wise person knows that control is an illusion. The wise person knows that the only real power in life is over their own mind. Pain will come. Suffering is a choice. Marcus Aurelius understood this, and now, so do you. Life does not wait for anyone. It moves forward, indifferent to whether we are ready or not. It does not pause when we suffer. It does not slow down when we fall behind. It does not comfort us when we feel lost. The world does not care about our expectations, and yet most people live as if it should. They expect fairness, stability. They believe that if they work hard, life will reward them, that if they are kind, people will treat them well, that if they plan carefully, things will go according to plan. But life does not operate on these rules. It does not conform to any single person's desires or beliefs. And this is where suffering begins, not in life itself, but in the refusal to accept life as it is. Marcus Aurelius understood this better than anyone. He ruled an empire in turmoil, endured personal tragedies, faced betrayal from those closest to him. Yet he remained unshaken, not because he was immune to pain, but because he refused to let circumstances control his mind. He wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength." This is the foundation of true peace, the belief that nothing outside of us has the power to disturb us unless we allow it to. The events themselves are neutral. They do not carry meaning until we attach meaning to them. A storm does not care if you are afraid of it. A betrayal does not carry an inherent sense of injustice. A failure does not announce itself as a tragedy. These are interpretations, not realities. And interpretations can be changed. Imagine standing in front of a broken mirror. If you look at your reflection, it will appear distorted, fragmented, incomplete. But the distortion is not you. It is the mirror. Your perception of life works the same way. If your mind is clouded by expectations, fears, attachments, then everything you see will be distorted. You will take things personally that have nothing to do with you. You will believe that temporary struggles are permanent. You'll see problems where there are only situations, but if you clear the mirror, if you remove the unnecessary judgments, life becomes clear. Events happen, but they do not disturb you. People betray you, but you do not take it as an attack. Plans fail, but you do not see it as a loss. You see things as they are, without the lens of expectation or fear. This is what Marcus Aurelius trained himself to do. He did not live in denial. He faced reality more directly than anyone, but he refused to add unnecessary suffering to his pain. He refused to give power to things outside his control. He refused to let the world dictate his inner state. He understood that the only true power is over the self, and that most people waste their lives trying to control things that cannot be controlled. Imagine a man standing in the middle of a raging river trying to stop the current with his hands. He fights against the water, but the more he resists, the more exhausted he becomes. Eventually he drowns, not because the river was too strong, but because he refused to let go. Now imagine another man who steps into the river and allows himself to flow with it. He does not resist, he does not fight. He moves with the current instead of against it. He does not drown, he adapts. Life is the river. Most people fight against it, trying to force it to move in a direction it was never meant to go. They resist change, they resist loss, they resist uncertainty. And in that resistance, they suffer. But those who accept the flow, who stop demanding that life be different than it is, they find peace. Because peace is not the absence of struggle, it is the absence of resistance. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Accept whatever comes to you woven in the pattern of your destiny, for what could more aptly fit your needs." This is not fatalism. This is not passive surrender. This is the deepest kind of strength, the ability to remain calm in the face of anything, to be unshaken by the chaos of the world. It is knowing that no matter what happens, you will endure, that no matter what is taken from you, you will remain whole, that no matter how hard life becomes, you will not break, because nothing outside of you has the power to break you unless you allow it to. Most people live in fear, fear of loss, fear of failure, fear of the unknown. They cling to things believing that if they hold on tightly enough, they can prevent change. But change does not ask for permission. It does not wait until we are ready. It happens, and the more we resist it, the more painful it becomes. But what if instead of fearing change, we embraced it? What if instead of clinging to things, we let them come and go freely? What if instead of trying to control life, we simply lived it? Imagine walking through a burning house, holding onto objects, refusing to let go. The fire spreads, the smoke thickens, but you refuse to release your grip. You try to carry everything with you, but in doing so you risk losing everything, including yourself. Now imagine dropping everything and walking through the fire empty-handed. You lose the objects, but you save yourself. This is how attachment works. The more we cling, the more we suffer. The more we let go, the freer we become. Marcus Aurelius understood that attachment is the root of suffering. Attachment to people, to outcomes, to ideas of how life should be. But life does not care about our attachments. It moves forward, with or without our permission, and the only way to find peace is to move with it, he wrote. Loss is nothing else but change, and change is nature's delight. What if we saw loss not as something being taken, but as something being transformed? What if we saw endings not as failures, but as necessary steps in a larger process? What if instead of fearing the unknown, we trusted it? Imagine standing on the edge of a cliff, staring into the fog below. You cannot see what is beneath you. The mind panics, imagining the worst. But what if, instead of falling, you step forward and find solid ground? What if the unknown is not darkness, but possibility? What if everything you fear losing is not the source of your strength, but the weight that is holding you down? Marcus Aurelius lived with the awareness that everything is temporary. Power, wealth, relationships, even life itself. He did not live in fear of this, he used it as motivation. He understood that if nothing lasts forever, then worrying about things is pointless. If everything changes, then resisting change is foolish. If death is inevitable, then fearing it is wasting the time we have. He wrote, "It is not death that a man should fear, but he should fear never beginning to live." Most people do not live. They exist, trapped in their thoughts, worrying about things that may never happen, regretting things that cannot be changed. They are prisoners of their own minds, but the key has always been in their hands. The key is understanding that peace is not found in controlling life, it is found in controlling the mind. The mind that creates fear can create courage. The mind that creates suffering can create peace. The mind that clings can let go. Nothing outside you has power over you unless you give it power. No event, no person, no loss, no failure. You are the master of your own mind. And once you realize this, you become untouchable. The world will continue to move, storms will rage, losses will come, but you will remain, because your peace does not depend on the world, it depends on you.